Now at 8:30, a man is dead and a state police investigation is underway after an officer-involved shooting. A full report on the state troopers' investigation next. And two men accused of killing a University of Kentucky photojournalist are set to be arraigned tomorrow. We'll have the updates on their case, plus information about tomorrow's vigil honoring the victim coming up. And tomorrow is going to be a little bit of a longer day for Fayette County schools. Why? The board has decided to increase the school days a few minutes. Coming up on WKYT News this morning.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Mike Linden. If yesterday you got to go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather, I'm glad for you. A lot of people reach out to me on social media and said, man, we're so happy that it was nice outside yesterday, because this is what it looks like outside this morning. Gray and kind of dreary in Kentucky this morning as active weather has returned in full force. Live first alert defenders sweeping the skies and wasn't finding much of anything yesterday, but not having a hard time today as there's plenty of moisture out there. Heavy rainfall lies off to the west of us. Right now working its way closer to Franklin County, pushing into spots like Anderson County along the BG Parkway and the western corridor of I-64. We're currently dealing with two low pressure centers, one over the Kansas area responsible for that severe weather in Texas yesterday. That will reach us a little bit later in the week. But what we're watching is all of this energy working its way northward from the Gulf of Mexico, and all of that warmth was responsible for those low 80s out there yesterday. But now all of that moisture beginning to fire up some thunderstorm activity in central Tennessee that will work its way here into Kentucky over the next few hours. I'll show you how that storm will set us up this Sunday into the work week ahead coming up.
All right, Mike, thank you. New this morning, a man is dead and an investigation is underway after an officer-involved shooting overnight in Jessamine County. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live from Wilmore this morning, where state police are following up on that investigation. Good morning, Hillary.
Good morning, Sean. I just spoke with a woman who has lived on the street across from where all this happened for more than 50 years. She says nothing like this has ever happened here as long as she's lived here. Kentucky State Police say it all started around 1:15 when officers with the Wilmore Police Department came out to a home here on Hinkle Street. They say when they arrived at the home, there was a man standing outside in the yard with a gun, and this is just a few blocks away from Asbury University's campus. They say once those officers arrived, gunfire broke out. The suspect was fatally shot while no officers were injured.
We're still trying to determine if alcohol or drugs played a factor. We're still trying to learn a lot of the details of what occurred tonight. We're still pretty early in this investigation.
Troopers say they are still looking into why exactly Wilmore officers were at the home, and say initial reports indicate they had been at this particular home several times for multiple different reasons. Troopers say they are also looking into whether or not that suspect pointed his gun at those officers. Live in Jessamine County, Hillary Thornton, back to you.
Hillary, thank you. Tomorrow, two men will be arraigned after police say they killed a UK student walking home early Friday morning. 18-year-old Justin Smith and 20-year-old Efrain Diaz are charged with murder in connection with the shooting death of 22-year-old Jonathan Kruger. Smith is also charged with tampering with evidence and fleeing and evading. When asked if they were involved, both suspects said they were innocent. And with the case now moving to the courtroom, the question is whether or not the death penalty would be on the table.
One thing I don't do is talk about a pending case. This is a pending case, and as a result, I'm not going to say anything about it.
Diaz and Smith are set to be arraigned tomorrow. Diaz is also set to be back in court for unrelated charges on Thursday. Well, two communities in two separate states are mourning Kruger's death this weekend. His friends and fraternity brothers here in Lexington held a vigil Friday night to remember him. Tomorrow, the University of Kentucky newspaper is planning a memorial service. And last night, friends and family in his hometown of Perrysburg, Ohio, held a vigil to say goodbye. Sana Ora from our sister station, WTVG in Toledo, has that story.
Friends and family gathered to support one another. 22-year-old Jonathan Kruger attended Maumee Valley Country Day School in Toledo his whole life, up until graduation in 2012. His classmates were like brothers and sisters, and this large group is grieving as one family.
Well, he was like a kid to me, like one of my sons.
Nathaniel Towns is a close family friend. He also taught Jonathan basketball.
Jonathan is the type of person that would give you the shirt off of his back. He didn't want anything given to him. He wanted to work for everything. He's the type that he doesn't have an enemy. He loved everybody, and it's just sad.
Jonathan's family attended this vigil. Understandably, they didn't want to talk or be filmed. Relatives and classmates shared memories and shed some tears. Jonathan was a communication major at the University of Kentucky. He was walking just a block from campus early Friday morning when he was fatally shot during a robbery. 2 suspects are now charged in his murder.
I'm a state trooper, so I deal with things on a daily basis, but this comes close to home, and it's senseless.
Towns' 2 children were Jonathan's friends and classmates, and they're having a tough time coming to terms with this great loss.
It's sad. They're crying, and they don't have any answers, and they're just wandering around trying to make sense of it all. And I just explained to them that sometimes there are no answers.
Reporting from Toledo, Senna Ora, WKYT.
Kruger worked as a photographer for his student newspaper, the Kentucky Colonel. Those who knew him say he had a knack for capturing shots that people would remember. He was also known for having a great work ethic.
He was always striving for excellence, which is a something that I do every day, and so I kind of gravitated toward him because I kind of saw a little bit of me in him.
Kruger was the Colonel's photo editor. He would have been their ad manager during his upcoming senior year. The Colonel will hold a memorial service tomorrow night at 8 o'clock at Memorial Hall. Your time this morning is 8:37. The school day is going to be a little bit longer for Fayette County students tomorrow. The Fayette County School Board approved extending the school day by 30 minutes beginning Monday. Those longer days will continue through May 29th, the last day of school. School leaders say they're extending these days to make up for time missed because of all that snow and nasty winter weather we had. School leaders also have now set high school graduation dates and times. For more information on that, head over to our website, WKYT.com. Also happening Monday, the deadline to register to vote for the May primary election, as well as the deadline to make changes to your voter registration record. Kentucky has a closed primary election, which means you must be registered as either a Democrat or a Republican to take part in the primaries. The primary election is scheduled for May 19th. When we come back, it's something most of us take for granted. Playing on a playground can be difficult, though, for disabled children. But one designer in California hopes a new design can change that. That's ahead on WKYT this morning.
Active weather is back. Heavy rain is here, and it looks like we're right back to normal for this April. Coming up, I'll show you how wet weather is set to impact us today and into the work week ahead.